Good morning, family and friends, and welcome to another episode of Brunch with Blake. And today we're going to be doing a cheese and shrimp grits. Yes, now a lot of people may say, why would you put shrimp in grits? I grew up with having butter and only salt and pepper in my grits. As I got older, I learned to add cheese and tomatoes. So I wanted to do something a little bit different. And I was looking on the internet, and I see that a lot of people do make cheesy shrimp grits. Louisiana, North Carolina, and Florida. So I said, hey, let's try that today. So what we're going to be using is quick grits. Really simple, easy. The directions are on the back. They're already cooked on the stove. So I used 6 cups of water to 1.5 cups of grits. So it's not going to be as thick because it's going to get baked. So I used the quick grits. I'm going to fold in 3 beaten eggs. I'm going to mix some shredded cheddar cheese, and I'm going to use the whole pack. It says a pound. You may not have to use as much. My husband said don't use a lot, so I may not use the whole pack, but this is a mixed shredded cheddar cheese. Definitely a pound of fresh raw shrimp. You can get them in the seafood section, or you can get them frozen. I got the frozen ones. I allow them to thaw, and I remove the shell and the veins. Make sure that you remove the shells, because that's the last thing you want in your grits, are crunchy shells that you have to, expel from your mouth. So, in other words, spit them out. So make sure you remove all the shells there. I love hot sauce, so I'm going to use some Frank's Red Hot, a few sprinkles of that. Some Cajun spices and pepper. You can use any type of seasoning that you prefer. If you don't like any seasoning, if you just want pepper, that's fine. If you just want pepper, salt, or nothing, it's up to you. So I'm just going to use a few sprinkles of the Cajun Choice Creole seasoning and pepper. And I will leave the recipe instructions on my blog, which is diva with an H deals.com. And also at the end of this vlog, I'll have all the directions as far as the measurements for each of the ingredients. And we're going to use some butter. And I'm using unsalted butter. I'm going to use, I believe it's 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter. So that's the ingredients for today's grits with shrimp and cheese. So like I said, the grits have cooked. I'm going to bring them over here so that we can fold in the butter. I'm going to cut that up. And it's actually 3/4 of a stick. So we're just going to go ahead and cut that. And I love the markings on the butter, sticks of butter. So basically, it's that much butter. You can see that? We're going to put that in with the grits and the cheese. And we're going to let that melt. Let me bring this over. Be careful, because grits are very hot. If you know the story of Al Green, he'll tell you, grits burn. So here's the pot with 6 cups of water and 1.5 cups of quick grits. So I'm going to go ahead and put the butter in. I'm going to stir that. And I have the oven preheated at 350 degrees because we're going to bake that for an hour, about an hour. So we're going to put the butter in first. Hope you're having a good Sunday. Can you believe that spring will be here soon and we'll get rid of all this snowy cold weather? In Delaware, it's been extremely cold, but soon those buds will be popping up and it'll be springtime again. Okay, I'm going to add the cheese. You can use, like I said, you can use the whole pack or you can use just a little. So just put that in there. And I'm not going to add the eggs until this has cooled a little bit. So I'm going to beat the eggs. I'm going to allow this to cool. I will beat the eggs. I'm going to say maybe about 5-10 minutes. Let it cool down. Then I will fold the eggs in. And then we will add it to the pan. A few sprinkles of Cajun Choice Creole seasoning. I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit. Not too much. If you don't like, Creole, if you don't like anything spicy, just use, Lowry's, Mrs. Dash, you know, any low sodium, if you have a problem with, you know, sodium content. I love black pepper, and I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit. I still have my grinder. Remember my grinder, but I wanted the fine pepper. Add a little bit more of that in here. I like pepper. And as you know, I love my Frank's Red Hot hot sauce. So we're just going to put in a little, because I will be sharing this with hubby and my sons. So just a little bit. And you can also add more to yours. Oh, it smells so good. So I'm going to allow this to cool. I may add a bit more cheese, but I'm going to allow this to cool. And then we will fold in the eggs, top it with the fresh shrimp, and bake it in the oven at 350 for an hour. Okay? Okay, I've allowed the grits and cheese mixture to cool down, I guess about 10 minutes. And I've beaten 3 eggs, large, medium eggs in here, and I'm going to now fold them, as they say, fold them gently and slowly into the grits mixture. What was your favorite hot cereal growing up? I know my grandma always made us grits and cream of wheat and wheatina and oatmeal. You know, I was looking for a wheatina. I haven't been able to find it. Have you seen any wheatina? Remember, that was the brown cereal. But grits is a cereal. Actually, it's a Native American grain that was introduced, made from corn. And I love grits. I've always loved grits. Got all the eggs in here. I'm going to fold this in. And I've already sprayed my baking dish with cooking spray. So let me stir this in here a little bit longer. Okay. This is good. This is a lot. So this will be enough if you're having a big brunch with a lot of family and friends. If not, I would just divide it in half, you know, for a small family of 4, because this is definitely a lot. This will be good. You know, you can have it for dinner, for brunch. Okay, so I put that in, and now we're going to pour it in to the here. Okay, it's cooled off enough. Okay, and I already, like I said, I sprayed the pan here, glass pan, and I'm just going to pour them in, pour the grits in. It's a lot of grits. A lot of grits. The grits with the cheese. It's a lot. It's going to be a great. This is actually called a grits and shrimp casserole. So that's what's so much. And I use this non-stick pot. If you don't have a non-stick pot, I suggest that you spray your pot with a cooking spray before cooking the grits so that it doesn't get stuck into the pan. So, got that done. We're going to get the shrimp. And we're just going to, let me get a, I don't want to touch raw shrimp with my hand. I always, you know, prefer to use a utensil. So I'm just going to sprinkle those in there, top that. This is going to be good. And like I said, if you like yours a little bit spicier, go ahead and add more. And I actually should have used a longer rectangular pan. But so that's going to be a tip. Use a longer rectangular pan. This one is this is going to be thick. I should have used a longer pan so it won't be as thick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to top the shrimp so that they get cooked, because remember, they are raw. The shrimp is raw, so that wants to be, you want that thoroughly cooked. But now look at this. This is a big, thick casserole. Grits and cheese. I may transfer this into a longer pan so that it'll, won't be as thick. So bear with me 1 minute and I'll come back and show you what I did, okay? Because we have a Kenmore Elite dual fuel 2-door oven, I had prepared this thinking I was just going to use the small oven, and I'll show the small side of the oven, which I'll show you. But it just made that casserole too thick, so I transferred it to a larger casserole dish. So I'm going to put this into my preheated oven at 350 for an hour, and then it will be done. And we will come back and take a look and see the end result. Maybe you want cornbread or biscuits or just a side salad with your shrimp and grits casserole. But such a versatile cereal. It's great, especially on cold winter days, or in the summer if you just want to, add a little bit of butter and sugar. But I wanted to try something different today for today's brunch with Blake. So we're going to put this in the oven for 350. We'll come back and see and taste and see how scrumptious it is, okay? So see you in a few minutes. Or in an hour. We'll be back. See ya. See, this is our Kenmore Elite dual fuel oven, and I was going to put it in the small side here. Take a look. Oh, I got to see if it's clean. But this is a small, so it would have slid right in. But I needed to use the larger baking sheet, so now it's in the big side of the oven. So in an hour, we'll be back, have some, and then let me clean up this kitchen in the meantime. See you in a minute, or in an hour, okay? And don't forget, next Saturday, the 7th, is National Cereal Day. So I want you to check out my blog at DelawareDivaDeals.com. That's D-E, Diva with an H, deals.com. Because I'm going to be doing a review of Quaker's Steel Cut Quick 3-Minute Oats. So this is going to be another review. But now we're going to have our grits and shrimp, a cup of coffee, and a great quiet Sunday. So you enjoy the rest of your day, and we will be chatting soon. God bless, and see you next time.